endless high-end cinematic commercials here on YouTube with big budgets that look absolutely incredible. And even our own projects get bigger and bigger every single time. But for this next project, we wanted to challenge ourselves. Can we make a high-end looking brand film with just a small crew of friends, 500 euros to buy props, our Sony FX3, and a creative idea filmed in one location? In this video, we're going to take you with us and show you how we created this film, from the pre-production to the filming to the editing.
Hi, I'm Joia.
And I'm Daniel.
Before starting this video, welcome to our YouTube channel. This is where we will share everything about our filmmaking journey, behind the scenes, and everything we've learned so far. Enjoy this video.
We got a call from a friend asking us to film a brand film for his company. And straight away in the first call, they told us that they didn't have a big budget. So we said, we'll do it, but on one condition only. We want full creative freedom. And they said, let's go. That basically turned this project into a passion project. And I'll tell you a little bit later about why doing these passion projects with full creative freedom are so important for us filmmakers. So we got to work building out the concept for this brand film and planning the shoot days. During the pre-production, we had a few calls with the guys and they told us about the different styles of bartending. There's the flashy type where the bartender does all kinds of tricks, which is mostly for entertainment. And then there's the more laid-back style where nothing is over the top. There's still a little bit of flair, but not too much. And that was really a key point for them. This also went hand in hand with their core values of being minimalistic, having a connection to natural elements and unprocessed ingredients, and the intentional choices they make for every cocktail. The biggest challenge for us was making sure we highlighted all of these different elements in an interesting way, while at the same time showing who the two guys behind the company are by getting some quotes and portraits of the guys.
The day before shooting, we wanted to go through all the setups we had in mind. With the small budget that we had, we bought some props, like this inflatable pool, a watering can, some glitter, and a plastic bucket we could fill up with water, and a couple of other small things. We also borrowed some stuff from the studio, like this blue cloth which we use as a background, and this see-through table which we use as a bar. Whenever the setups are a bit more challenging, we like to build them out beforehand. We already ran into a problem because the table wasn't high enough. So I went to the store around the corner, got some bricks, which were only like €4, to make the table a bit higher so it doesn't look weird whenever the guys make cocktails and the table's like way too low.
So on the first shoot day, we arrived a bit earlier to build out the first set. And this is where I have to give a quick shout out to Onno, who joined us for the day to help out and film all of the BTS that you see throughout this video. When the other guys arrived, we were ready to shoot the interview. We wanted to get some short quotes that would really capture the essence of their band and would also fit the vibe of the film.
For us, it's like fine dining behind the bar.
Next, for the portrait shots, we got a plastic bucket. We're gonna put some water in it. So we're gonna shine a light through it so you get like these water ripples over the face for the portrait shot. So put a bit of water in it. Let's get the light, see how it looks. We wanted to do this to add an interesting visual element to the portrait shots and also to make the connection to the natural ingredients they use in the cocktails. And then on top of that, we also experimented with some creative filters to replicate this feeling of seeing through different textures of cocktail glasses and also how the light refracts through these different textures. In other words, it's an extra visual element that fits the theme of the film. For this second setup, we wanted to create the bar with a bunch of glow coming from underneath. So we put a huge light underneath the see-through table. We wanted to create this soft feeling of light shining through the glasses and cocktails, and it also hits the face of the bartender a little bit while he's in the shots. So we went through a few of their signature cocktails and we filmed the process of them making each and every cocktail. So we used the probe lens to get some of the close-up shots, like the bubbles coming up, the ice that gets shaken inside of the cocktail, and a couple of other shots. We also filmed some handheld shots because we wanted to get some dynamic shots for this video of them shaking the cocktails and also pouring some of the glasses. But we also put some of these creative filters on our handheld setup in front of the lens with a magic arm because we also wanted to get some dynamic shots which were made to look like they were made through glass. This next idea was kind of crazy because we wanted to create some close-up shots of the hands shaking a cocktail shaker while water was splashing off in slow motion.
Next shot. We're gonna... Daniel knows.
We're gonna have a slow motion shot of the guys shaking while we pour water over them. So you get all the splashes coming off of the shaker, and because they're moving. And we didn't want to make the whole studio wet, so we're gonna, I hope, catch most of the water with the pool, and then we've got towels to spread over the floor to catch the rest.
I will be watching.
We will be wet.
You'll get wet.
Wet and well.
We put our Sony FX3 on a tripod, filmed in 100 FPS, and cropped the shot in post to only focus on the hands with the water splashing off. We took about 3 takes, all of them slightly different, and after that we knew we had something really cool and usable for the edit. This is day 2 of the shoot. Yesterday we had the shoot with the boys. Already a success in my mind, so now we're gonna get some extra shots, mostly for those in-between flashy sequences. So we have the table right here. We're gonna do a top-down shot, highlighting some of the tools they use, some of the ingredients they use, and try to make like a good sequence out of that. We got a few shots of stuff they actually use in their cocktails, like the dried oranges, the leaves, and the peppers. It's pretty sick, right? You can see like all the lines, all the details. We played around with a match cut we knew we wanted to make of all the equipment they use. So we rigged our FX3 for a top-down shot and then took away one piece of equipment at a time. How's it going?
I'm like trying different textures with all of these items. I don't want it to be a mess. I want it to be a bit more minimalistic. So I'm trying to make like a puzzle of some sorts to make it look good. Right now I'm at this point. I think it looks kind of good already, but I feel like there's something missing. This one seems a bit out of place and I want to keep this one in the middle. So we created our final setup. So for now we're gonna take away one at a time, so we have like a sort of a stop motion effect. But there's a lot of reflections on these things, so every time we press record we need to walk away.
Have to walk away, wait for a few seconds, come back, pick one up, and do that 8 times. And lastly, we wanted to get a shot that would simulate being inside of a shaker. So we had a glass face and we put water and glitter into that, then stirred it and filmed it super close up with a probe lens. And we knew we'd pair that in post with the shots with the shaker with the water splashing off. I want to quickly highlight a few editing tricks that we used in this film. The first is this particular sequence right here. We go from this shot to a different shot, which is just the glasses, and then back to the first shot a little bit further. And this shot is now in black and white, which leads into the next sequence of the portrait shots that are also in black and white. And then the last shot is back to color, and this shot we leave for a little bit longer to kind of let the viewer breathe from everything that just happened. This trick of going from one shot to a different shot and then back to the first shot is something we use quite a lot in our edits, and it's an easy way to make a more dynamic transition with the footage that you have available. For this film, we wanted to make the music truly unique. So we bought a few sound packs, played with the risers, melodies and textures that those packs had to offer to create our own custom soundtrack. We combined that with a few sound effects like some whooshes, some clicks, rumbles, and lastly we added some vinyl crackles and room tone to tie the whole film together. We already knew that we wanted to keep most of the film in a blue or teal looking color, so during the filming we already filmed in a lower white balance to get those cool tones in the shot, while sometimes creating a big contrast going to a red or green color or even some black and white. To be honest, this was quite an easy project to grade. For one, because we shot it in a studio, so all of the shots had somewhat the same lighting. And two, because our power grade was already like 90% of the way there. So that last 10% was just spent on perfecting, getting the colors to look exactly how we wanted, and just playing around with what looked good. We're actually releasing our own power grade and LUTs soon, so if you want to stay updated on when that's coming out, you can sign up for a newsletter in the description. We actually got some cool shots with the probe lens that we hadn't originally planned for. Like the shot with the ice cracking, this is actually just a still shot of some ice in glass, and we're pulling focus from far to close and close to far to create this cool effect. This shot with the orange slices, where it kind of feels like this earthquake effect, this is literally just a top-down shot and then shaking the probe lens in a very small way to create this shaking effect. And this leaf transition, we played around with the leaf under the probe lens on top of the lit up table, and because the leaf kind of got stuck on the table sometimes, it moved kind of unpredictably, which actually looked pretty cool in post. So we did that for a couple tries and then picked out the best parts later. The reason creating passion projects is so important is because you get to make something with full creative freedom. It allows you to try new stuff in the filming and in the editing, and it might even get you a cool portfolio piece that eventually might land you jobs for other companies because they've seen your creative work. During this process, we obviously had some helping hands, like all of the stuff we got to borrow from the guys at the studio, Onno helping us for the day, and even the 2 guys who said yes to all of our crazy ideas. But I think the main takeaway of this whole process is that you can create cool stuff with what you have available to you, even if the budgets are not crazy big. That's it, I think. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments, and we really want to create more stuff.
Maybe subscribe.
Done.
We did it!